Peace, love, blessings, all that good stuff. Thank you so much to everyone who've been supporting the page. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It's definitely humbling for us. We didn't expect the growth to happen that fast, and it's you guys are being a blessing to us as much as we are being a blessing to y'all, if not more. So sincerely, thank you for that. Just finished coming off a nice little walk after I finished my day today. And the other day, I was in Lakeland, Florida, and drove past the CDL school that I went to there. And it was definitely humbling to reflect back on that time when I was a student there and going through it. I graduated out within a month, and the backing and shifting was pretty challenging. And I'm just thankful that I've made it out and to pass there in this money machine here, knowing that I can literally hire students from there now. And that was just a few years ago. So in life, you definitely want to have a spirit of Thanksgiving, not just on the holiday. It should be a daily routine, a daily lifestyle. There's always going to be problems, but you want to have a solution mindset. And part of that solution mindset requires you to have a spirit of Thanksgiving. Just focusing on things to be thankful and grateful for. Simple. Do that throughout your day on a daily basis, and I guarantee you, you will attract more to be thankful and grateful for. So one of the things I want to encourage you guys is we have a dispatching business, as you know. So whoever you're going to get to dispatch you, I want to encourage you to really think more about what you can make versus how much that dispatcher costs. So you definitely want to know how much they cost, how much they're charging, but also find out at the same time what your earning potential is with that dispatcher. So it shouldn't matter if I'm charging 40%. If I'm allowing you to net $4,000 a day per driver, does that make sense? Or would you turn away me because I'm charging 40%? Right? So make it make sense. Focus on what you can make, not so much the expenses. There's a spirit attached to each. There's a mindset attached to each. There's a spirit attached to everything and everyone. So yeah, when you guys are shopping around, definitely there's a lot. We've done videos on dispatching, so I hope that really has been helping y'all, because a great dispatcher is gonna cover a lot of ground. And when you have not good but a great dispatcher, I would pay for that, because I want them to cover all of that ground for me and be great at what they do, which will free up my time. Your time it should be an asset. For some people, it's probably a liability, but assets and liabilities could apply to the same thing, just like income and expenses can apply to the same thing. Something that's an asset, like a house with tenants, can also be a liability without tenants, or if you're just living in it, and it's of course hopefully the value does increase or appreciate, which will make it eventually an asset. But if it doesn't, it's a liability. So that's an example of something being an asset and a liability. So a great dispatcher is worth whatever little amount they're charging you because of what you're gonna net, what you're gonna bring home from them and what they do. And if once you have that spirit of focusing more on the income than expenses, you will attract more opportunities to have more income streams. I hope that makes sense. It's your focus. Where's your focus at? So just try to be mindful of the type of things you're putting out there, what you're focusing on. Increasing your income more will solve your expense problems. So that is the solution to your expenses. And right now you can do so many things right from your truck, where you can generate multiple streams of income. So if you can do that from your truck, how much more can you do from home? What if I told you I put out my last book from here? Would you believe me? Some probably would, some probably won't. But whether you believe me or not, it's just another example of how you can increase your income. If you're a fleet owner or owner operator, or you hire drivers, will teach your drivers how to increase their income from their trucks. I guarantee you that will give you a better employee or a better person overall, where that person will become more loyal, more of an asset to you and themselves and their family, if you could do that. I know when I was a company driver and that company or someone from that company showed me how to increase my income from my truck as a company driver, and to be honest with you, I probably would have still been with that company. So I know this is different. A lot of people don't want to really empower their employees or their drivers, but that's just not who we are. And I hope that comes through. Part of what we do is basically not only building our legacy, but building others up to become more and to be more. We are here to be a blessing, period. We're all here for that, but we definitely, part of our purpose is to be a blessing to others. So if we can empower whoever's working with us, whether you're a worker or a partner, in whatever capacity you're working with us, however we can empower you, that's what we are going to do if you're receptive to it. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that blesses you. I remember when I was younger, I had a flooring business. This was in the early 2000s. I had a flooring business, and I would say that was my first real business. And it took me quite a while to find some really good help, and was able to find my man JR from Harlem. And he was a blessing. But I did my part to empower him, to give him the vision. He took on my spirit, so much so that I didn't have to be on the job anymore. It was a wood flooring business. And once JR is on the job, I can usually go on another job or go home or go to school. I was in college at the same time. I can do so many other things because he's gonna do what I would do, right? So when I closed that business down, I gave that to that man. And one day he will give that to someone else. And I know a lot of successful business people, but I can't say that I know one person that has given someone a successful business without charging anything. We're just different. And JR and I are still in touch to this day. He's just a blessing. But like I said, it took years to find him. But when I did find him, it was off to the races. Like, the business just took off. You know, he hired a whole crew and just did everything. So that was my first time, I would say, getting cash flow, passive income, where it's on autopilot. You could sleep at night, stay home, and your business is cranking out income. That should be the end goal for every business. We live in a day and time when the model of going to school to get, going to school for 20 plus years, college, to get a job to work 40 years on a 9 to 5, that model is broken. So unless you're going to be some type of scientist or engineer, some type of doctor, lawyer, then yes, you need those credentials. But for the most part, that model is broken. You have to have a business right now. It's not a matter if you want one. You have to have a business right now. It gives you freedom. It gives you power. And we see so many things going on where, mandates, the government. You have to be in a place of power where you can make your own choices for yourself, your family, and not be manipulated or coerced or pushed in a corner where you have to do something that you really don't want to do because you want to keep a job. So there's so many ways, so many hustles you could do, whether you're home or on the road. It's just no excuse anymore to not have a business. What if I told you I do personal training from here? Over the phone. Would you believe me? What if I told you I did consulting from here? Would you believe me? What if I told you I sell merchandise from here? Would you believe me? So to all the drivers out there that are watching this, there's no way right now in 2021, about to be last quarter, about to be 2022, that driving should be your only income. There's no way, if you're a carrier, fleet owner, that your drivers should only have this as their only income. Empower them. Even if they leave you, know that you should feel good knowing you were a blessing to them. You served purpose in their lives. Another principle that I live by is I want something that I touch to be better than it was before I touched it. I want someone that comes across my path to be better than before crossing my path. So once I get this truck, it's going to be better than when I got it. Once I move in a new home, it's going to become better. Once I take on an employee, well, that employee is going to be better. So if you live by that principle, which everyone should, because it's stewardship, and that employee leaves you, well, you should be able to sleep great at night knowing that you serve your purpose in their lives, whether they stay with you or they move on. If they move on, they're going to be empowered. It's a win-win, because you sowed seeds into them that are going to come back to either you or your children. So empower people. Don't hold people back. Where I'm from in New York, that was definitely, well, not just in New York, but a lot of people will block others from just going higher in life. And that's just not who we are. So do what you can to empower drivers out there. Do something to have another hustle coming in while you're over the road. And if you're not over the road and you're home, well, you really have no excuse to add income streams, because there's so many things you can do. So if I can have more income streams than you driving this truck over the road, meaning home away for at least a month, and do things to generate multiple streams of income, then how much should you be able to do that if you're home every day? So yeah, drivers, definitely, those who are listening to this, I want to encourage you to add income streams from your truck. Don't ever let any one thing be 100% of your bread and butter. You shouldn't depend on any one thing for all of your income, especially now. Like maybe, 20 years ago, you could probably do that, but not right now. So, yeah, I hope this blesses someone. And thank you again for the support, and we'll see you on the next one.